all of a sudden she's gonna be like, wait a second, he said he cared about this, yet he's not following through. Red flag number one, he doesn't follow through. Red flag number two, is he trying to manipulate me? Red flag number three, maybe this guy's a liar. Tell me this, do you feel a little invisible during the dating scene and kind of wondering why you got turned down? Well, today I'm gonna give you 3 core reasons why she probably turned you down, as well as some action steps to help you improve in this department. Reason number 1 is communication. Look, women appreciate somebody that can open up to her and be vulnerable, someone that can openly express what they desire in a relationship. These are the 3 action steps I would suggest you follow to improve in this area. Action step number 1, practice active listening. When she's talking, literally dial in on what she's saying. Don't think about an answer to what she's saying yet. Fully absorb all the information, understand it from her perspective. This will make you a better listener because you are actually putting yourself in her shoes. You're not preparing for an answer. Reason number 2, open up about your feelings. Be a little bit vulnerable. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Forget about all the macho advice you've been reading, and God knows where you've been reading it, but just forget about that advice. It's okay to be vulnerable. You are a human being. You're gonna cry sometimes. You're gonna be emotional sometimes. If anything, vulnerability can help you because when you are vulnerable, it allows her to be vulnerable too, and then you can find out if you have a deep emotional connection. Action step number 3, ask open-ended questions. Ask better questions. This promotes deep conversations. It allows for depth. It allows you guys to really figure out, are you guys compatible? It allows you to really communicate deeply. On top of that, it encourages her to share her thoughts and feelings. She feels desired. She feels like you understand her and that you really want to get to know her. So if you're not asking good quality questions, she could be getting a little bit turned off by that. Okay, that was reason number 1, communication. Reason number 2, authenticity. Remember, the way you present yourself matters. Don't try to be somebody you're not just because you saw it on TikTok or Instagram or wherever the hell you're looking at these days. Just be who the hell you are. Please. You're annoying me if you're not doing that. Authenticity it just goes a long way, period, exclamation point, period. So just do it. Now, before I jump into the action steps on how to improve in this area, if you feel like you're struggling with this, if you like this style of advice, you appreciate the way that I'm talking to you, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel so I know that this style of content is resonating with you. Otherwise, let's jump into the 3 action steps for authenticity. Action step number 1, please, for the love of God, be honest about your interests and your values. Don't pretend to like something just because you think it'll impress her. She's gonna see right through that, and that game is a very short-lived game. Eventually, the real you is gonna come out, and it's just gonna cause heartbreak later on down the line. So if anything, you're still gonna lose. But in this case, if you're authentic right up front, you'll find out whether you're compatible or not. You'll save yourself time, energy, fees to pay a therapist, fees to pay a doctor, God knows what. So just do that. Action step number 2 for authenticity. Make sure that your actions matches your values. This is called integrity, all right? So if you say you really care about donating to certain causes that you really care about and you never donate, all of a sudden she's gonna be like, wait a second, he said he cared about this, yet he's not following through. Red flag number 1, he doesn't follow through. Red flag number 2, is he trying to manipulate me? Red flag number 3, maybe this guy's a liar. You see how she's gonna start conceiving of all these ideas about who the hell you are? So if you say you're gonna do something, do it. Stick to your values. Make sure that your actions match your values. That's key. Action number 3, display your confidence. Be okay with who you are. Be okay with your flaws. We all have them. Don't try to be a narcissistic guy. That's not going to work in your favor. Don't try to be Mr. Perfect and correct and all this stuff. If you show that you have flaws, if you are open about your flaws and where you can improve, you actually come across as a lot more relatable. And that is true confidence, to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. All right, that was reason number 2 why she's not interested in you, authenticity. So we've covered communication, authenticity. Now we will cover reason number 3, respect. A lack of respect for her career, her hobbies, her interests, her desires in the relationship can be a monumental turnoff to women. Women, like men, want to feel valued in the relationship. So value her views, her hobbies, her interests, what she wants to do with her career, what she wants to do on the weekend, what goals she has, micro or macro, okay? Now let's jump into the action steps if you feel like this is an area that you need a little bit of help with, or maybe you're not sure. Here are 3 action steps to ensure that you are respecting her. Number 1, value her time. Don't be late for dates, meetups, attending her friends' parties. I don't know. Maybe you say you're gonna meet at a club, a coffee shop. Be punctual. I get it. It's okay. Things happen. But for the most part, be on time. It shows that you respect her time. One of my biggest pet peeves for many, many years is I'm extremely punctual. If I say I'm gonna do something, you could take it to the bank. My word is fucking titanium. And it used to really bother me when people weren't showing up on time to meet with me, homies, whatever. And I used to feel a little bit insulted and disrespected. Now, with friends, it's a little bit different because you can accept a friend for who they are to a certain extent. With a woman that you just met, probably barely even know, you're not putting your best foot forward by being late. If anything, you're showing that you don't respect her by being late, and you don't respect yourself because you don't care about how you come off. You don't care about your own perception. Action step number 2, show interest in her hobbies and whatever she likes to do. When you show interest in her, you are, as a byproduct, respecting her because you're able to understand, like, hey, I noticed that you're really into this and I want to know how I can help you and I want to know how it makes you feel. Who the hell doesn't want to feel that way? Or to be on the other side of that when somebody asks them these type of questions. Action step number 3, respect her values. You're obviously not going to agree on everything, especially when it comes to some of the major topics like diet, culture, politics, religion, I don't know, right? But it's okay. You're not going to agree on everything, obviously, but you can still respect her values and her perspective. As an example situation, if you guys are talking about diet, for example, and you're vegan and she eats meat, you can say like, listen, I understand that you eat meat and I don't. That's okay. I'm pretty open-minded and I encourage you to keep following along with your diet. I'm not going to pass judgment. If you say something like that, then it gives the impression that you are open-minded and that you're respecting her values and your differences in a subject matter or an opinion about something, right? So respect her values and her different ways of thinking. It's okay. All right, that's it. Communication, authenticity, and respect. If you improve these areas, I promise you, you will beat out 99.99999% of men because these are core things that women look for. They may not say communication, they may not say authenticity or respect. They may use other words or phrases, but this is what they want. What other human doesn't want this? Communication, in my eyes, is probably the number 1 trait you need to have a successful relationship. And we cover that, number 1. Number 2, authenticity. Being who you are, especially today, is sexy AF. So you can't beat that. And then number 3, respect. You're respecting her time. You're respecting her as a human being. Another valuable trait. Now, if this all made sense and you want to put this into action through conversations, through texting, but maybe you don't know how to do that, check out this video where I show you exactly how to text women with a systematic framework you can follow. I promise you, if this is an area you want to improve, you will love this video. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.